What's up, everybody? This is Concrete Zebra, and today I'm gonna take y'all to the zoo. What's up, everybody? This is Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions, and today I wanted to give you guys a little insight into my world. I've been showing you a lot about my workflow, but today I want to show you the space that I work. This is my home studio. I've had a few of them in different locations, and this is one that I'm really proud of. I went ahead the past couple of days actually, and I worked on doing my own custom acoustic treatment. After going ahead and buying the boxes of Oralex, the kits that come pre-cut and stuff like that you see on some different studios, I decided that I want to do it right. I want to do it myself. I looked at some different GIK kits and things of that nature, and dude, they're really fucking expensive, man. Like $3,000 for a room. So I just kind of, the way that I figured out how to do it, because I'm not a expert in studio acoustic treatment, was I looked at the the rooms that they were designing. I have a basic rectangular room, and just kind of mimicked it after doing a little research online. Acoustic treatment, like anything, when you're dealing with audio, they try to make it seem like it's this big mystical process that only professionals understands, and you shouldn't even try to undertake it yourself, otherwise you're going to completely mess it up. And no, man, it's just like anything else. If you watch enough YouTube videos about it, you can you can hack that shit and pretty much do a fantastic job. So what I went ahead and did was, I went down to Home Depot, and I just if you look at the panels, all they are 1x2 like furring strips, and I just nailed them together in frames. I got some basic wall insulation, cut it with a razor knife, laid that down, and then there was these 6x8 rolls of outdoor area carpet, and I just folded it back over the frame and stapled it, and that was it. Hung them up on the wall. It's pretty easy. The bass traps, I just got laid in the corner. They're not hung or anything, but they definitely do the job. Like, there has been just the most ridiculous improvement in the bass in this room. That's probably the number one problem that a lot of people get inside of a square bedroom or something is, you'll I see a lot of questions all the time to pop up in forums when people first start producing. It's like, I'm playing a sub bass, and I can I play ABC, and then when I press D, like I can't hear the note. And it's because you have what's called standing waves, and they'll cancel out certain frequencies. And since notes are certain frequencies, if you have a standing wave at 63 hertz, whatever note is at 63 hertz, it's going to seem like it's not there, and that's going to mess up your mix because you're going to be turning up to compensate. And it's the reason why when you don't mix in a treated room, you can't replicate a good mix every time. Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't, and it'll drive you crazy. So after after just hearing about it and actually working inside studios and getting the benefit from being in a room that's professionally tuned and treated, and being able to mix inside a real studio or create inside of a real studio, and when you can hear a flat response, you can make better decisions, and it's so much easier to get a good sound. I just decided I'm gonna go ahead and do it myself. And here's the thing that's gonna fuck you guys up, man, because it only cost me $200. Like, what the hell is $200? 2 quarters of some regular hydro. Fucking a ticket to a playoff game. Like $200 is, $200. I don't think you get a bottle in the club for $200. And to me, being where I'm at right now and just doing this for as long as I have, this is the by far and away the most important piece of my studio. And anybody who's serious about creation and mixing and working in audio will tell you the same thing. The most important thing that you have and your most powerful tool is the room that you work in. So with that said, man, I just want to encourage you guys. This is something I did it. Anybody could do it. It didn't take many tools. I used a hammer, a staple gun, nails, and a razor knife. And that was it. It came out awesome, and it sounds amazing. I can't wait to get to work in here. So another thing that I wanted to touch on. I wanted to say what's up to my new subscribers. Two new recent ones, Vixen Beats and Soup Beats. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys following the channel. I appreciate everybody who subscribed. Up to this point, I'm trying to get this channel's visibility up so that we can make some noise with PreSonus and they can start paying attention to the hip hop producers on the DAW. Because there's there's a big community of people that that use it for hip hop, and I feel like it gets overlooked. And I think most of you agree with that sentiment too. That we kind of get overlooked when it comes to it. So I think that it's really important. I'm doing this with everybody who subs me. Like if you sub my channel, I'm subbing you back. If you see someone that I'm interacting with in the comments and and you sub the channel, go ahead and sub their channel. They're on the fringe like everybody else. We're all in this together. Everybody else is using FL Studio or Cubase. Whenever you tell somebody that you use Studio One, you probably get the same response that I have. They're like, what the fuck is that? What program is that? Oh, it doesn't sound as good as Pro Tools. Like, all that ridiculous stuff. And it's up to us to change that perception. We got to stick together. So like I said, I'm taking it upon myself. If you guys sub me, I'm gonna sub you. I hope that you sub the rest of my subscribers and we can grow a really strong community in the next over the next couple years of Studio One users, and just show everybody that the producers that fuck with this program, we're dope. So with that being said, I'll get into the tour. This picture right here. I love this picture. This is something my girl got for me when we got into this house. Well, not obviously, but I'm a Florida boy. I grew up in South Florida. Miami Heat fan for life, and it's just something, when I look up at it and I see it, it just, it motivates me, just to put on. The next thing that I'm gonna show you guys, this is the second most important element in the studio after your room, and that's your computer. Obviously it holds all of your sounds. If you don't have hardware, then your computer's everything, and you want to make sure that you have a better than decent computer. And it's not hard to do. I have a friend who's he's a network system technician, and he's also a producer. He's one of my biggest influences in production, and I got lucky in that he was able to build me a custom computer for a fair price. I think he made it for like $700. It was after I had a MacBook, like a 2010, for a while, and then my house got robbed on my birthday, and that's actually how I got into Studio One, because I used to use Logic, and I was looking around for a program that kind of felt like Logic, because I had to move to PC because I couldn't afford to get another Mac. And it's ever since then I never looked back. My PC experience is awesome. To have this computer as a Mac, it would probably be $3,600, dude. Like, this thing is an 8 core i7. It's 3.5 gigahertz, 16 gigs of RAM. So that's why I use Studio One 64, because that lets me use all of my memory. That's why if you guys look at my session, you'll see my CPU meter never, like, barely ever moves, and I'll have like 4 contact libraries open, 6 instances of Omnisphere, stuff that would just like kill a laptop, and my computer to build costs less than a laptop. So I'm really big into the do-it-yourself aspect of production, because if you have other people building your stuff, you get raped. But moving right along, the third most important thing that I have in my room is my monitors. Now, they're BX8As from M Audio. They are not the most expensive monitors. They are not the highest definition monitors, but they're mine, and I've learned them. And I would I would challenge anybody to a mix off. Real talk. Just if you have speakers and they're decent, and and you A/B them, like you mix something and you play it back in your hi-fi system, and then you play it back in your earbuds, you play it back in your car, you can get to the point where your mind, it can compensate for the shortcoming, in your speakers. Like, I had to I actually have when I have to go into a studio to mix, I actually have to take like a couple good references in there to get accustomed to better speakers, because I'm so used to working on these. But yeah, I love them. I've had more than ample times to upgrade them, get some Genelecs or get some Focals, but these things work for now. I'm gonna use them till they break. All right, so over here I got the Native Instruments Machine MK1. I've had this since, I think, the first year it came out. This is what kind of started me down my Native Instruments fanboyism, because I thought this was really cool. The way it integrated into the software, the way you could use it as a multi-timbral instrument. The routing in it is awesome. You could use it standalone. It was just nice to be able to go back to a Groovebox feel inside the computer. I started producing with the Akai and a sound module, so this was pretty cool to be able to go back to that workflow, if I wanted to. So I picked it up, and I've been able to do a lot of cool things with it. Now I don't, to be honest with you, I don't really use it. Ever since I started using Impact and Sample One for my drums, really the only thing that I use it for is if I'm loading up a sample and I want to kind of scan through it. The transport controls, the knobs are really good. And the other thing that I use it for is the Studio One has a good template when you switch it into a MIDI controller mode, and you can actually use it as a control surface for Studio One. So you could control the record arm of a track. You can set loop points, you could set markers with it. You can you can use the volume knob as a fader. You can use the other knobs to pan and solo and mute, and basically all the functions of the mixers. You could switch tracks on it. So whenever I go to mix, and I want to I don't want to be using the mouse, I use the machine, I use the template, because there's just me starting making music in the late 90s. I still like to touch buttons. I still like to turn knobs. Like, to me, that's important, to be able to close your eyes and dial in on something. So I got the Machine Studio. Actually, I paid the $1,000. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I love the machine. I couldn't wait for the Machine Studio. And then once I got it, I was like, man, this is just too much shit. Like, if that program and setup is good, if Machine Studio is all you're gonna use. But if you're gonna use a DAW, you don't really need all that. So went back to the MK1, and I've been pretty happy with it. The next thing I got was the complete control. I used to have a Phantom X8 in the studio, and that was nice. It had the hammer keys, and it's a Phantom, whatever. But it's just so big, and I'm not really an excellent piano player anyway, where I'm using both of my hands. Pretty much all I do is take my right hand, and scribble out a melody, and then I quantize it and I go back into the piano roll, and a lot of it is mouse work. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of my melody work is mouse work. So I realized all I needed was the 2 octaves just to kind of audition a sound. I went with the complete control because I got complete 10, and I loved, again, like I was saying about using knobs and stuff, I love that you can use the complete control software to browse any sound inside complete, with buttons instead of just clicking through menus. So that was a big deal for me. The other big deal for me was the lights. You can set the lights up to different scales, just like you can do in the piano roll in Studio One, and the blue lights will light up over, only the notes that you play. So you set it up to F minor, and it's going to light up the notes that are only F minor. You could take it a step further and set it to easy mode and start on F and just play the white keys, and it'll be all the notes that are in the scale. Which I think is kind of cheesy, but if you're just starting out, it could be awesome. It's like working in GarageBand on iPad or something. If you're not really familiar with the scales, you could write melodies really easy with that. So I bought it for that reason, and it's been good to me, man. I love this keyboard, and then what it let me be able to do is, if you look at my studio, it's real clean and streamlined. I don't have a bunch of things everywhere, which is nice because for me it's better to work in a space where you're not cluttered with a whole bunch of machines and cords and cables. It's just you, the room, and inspiration. That's important. The next thing that I have is my preamp. I don't record a lot of vocals anymore. I actually hate recording vocals. It's probably the most boring thing to do in the world, is to sit there and listen to somebody, fuck their verse up 40 times and, just beg that they punch in. But like Eminem ruined everything for us when he said that line about pull no punches, that's weak shit. So now everybody's got to say their whole damn verse. And yeah, as you can tell, I don't like recording vocals. It's just boring to me. You're just sitting there, and the whole time you just want to make a beat, but you got this rapper in your studio just taking up all your time. Unless you pay me, or I really, really, really like your music and I like you as a person, like I don't record people. So, but this preamp, I can't bring myself to sell it because it's awesome. It's a Focusrite ISA1. I had a couple different other preamps before, some more expensive, some less expensive, and this was my favorite just because it's clean, it's transparent, it doesn't sound like anything, but it instantly makes a vocal sound 3D in the mix. I mean, it's very powerful and it's very affordable. I would, if you're a rapper and you're looking to get your sound up, I would say that you get one of these immediately. You can usually find them on Craigslist for $350 or $400, and just stop smoking weed for a month and buy this. It'll help you out a lot. It'll make you sound a lot better. The next thing I got is just this SM58. This is what I use to record my my tutorials. I used to use it on sessions with guys who were doing, like more East Coast sounding music, just to kind of get this effect, because this mic rolls off the highs. And for people who were brave enough to not record on a condenser, once you put it through a nice preamp, you get a nice sound out of it. I mean, this is, it's a damn mic you use on stage. Why wouldn't you want to record with it? I had other condensers and stuff like that. I sold a lot of that stuff because I'm not recording anybody's music anymore. Like I said, unless you pay me or we're really cool or you're super hot. What else? And then oh yeah, and then I got these. If you paid two, three, $400 for a pair of Beats, bro, you got robbed. These ultrasounds, these were, I bought these before buying $200 headphones was a thing to do. When the only place you could find $200 headphones was, you know, in a Guitar Center or a Sam Ash or a Mars. These headphones are amazing because they have a technology where the cone sits, instead of sitting right up against your ear, it sits further back in the enclosure, so it minimizes ear fatigue, and you can sit here and run a session on these for 6 hours, and your ear isn't going to get ear fatigue, which is important to me. If I got to be inside the headphones, and I've put them up against everybody who comes in. When I used to do a lot of vocal work, and they'd be like, "Oh, what are those? And not like my Beats, dog." Like, I would be like, "Yo, put them on," and everybody would be like, "Dude, where the fuck did you get these headphones? This is crazy, bro." So sound speaks for itself. But and if you don't have headphones and you're watching this and you're in the market for some, and you're like, should I get these pink and white Beats because they're the color of purple Sprite, or should I get something else? Like, you should get something else, and you should get these because they're awesome. But yeah, that's pretty much it, except for my Illuminati rocks right here. Obviously, because I'm really dope. I'm in the Illuminati. You guys know how that goes. But yeah, man, this is the space. I just wanted to give you guys, a little look into, the type of room that you can have if you just invest a little bit of money, a little bit of time. Like I said, this shit took me 2 days to do. It already sounds amazing. And it's totally worth it, man. So remember, keep it simple, don't be basic. This is Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions, and I'll see you guys on the next one.